So what I thought was funny is that you had a wrestling scholarship to Washington State, right?
No.
And you said
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, and you said, fuck it. I hate school so much. I'm going to join the military.
See ya.
But then you were in the military for 10 years, then got out and went to school.
Yes. But you know what, dude? When I got out of the Army, when I got out of high school, I hated school so much, and it wasn't a full ride. So it was enough to go and get by, but not enough to talk me into it to go. But I was so done with school, and, I grew up military. So that was kind of like what I knew and what I was going to go to. That I knew that I didn't want to do another bit of homework again. I just don't like being in school. I was always good at it. I got good grades and I can do it. Doesn't mean I like it. Right. So I was just there, and I was and I knew that you have to work as a college athlete. They work like twice as hard. You know what I'm saying? Those fools never sleep.
Right.
And then still have to get good grades. But dude, I would have been 18. Honestly, I think I would have picked out some dumbass degree, easy as hell.
Right.
Wasted whatever money that I put into it. Guaranteed I wouldn't have worked in that field because I didn't know what I wanted to do for sure at that time. Right. So then I went and I did 10 years in the Army, deployed twice, had all that money saved up from it. And then when I got out, dude, I went to college when I was 26. I fully knew what I wanted to do. And I got my bachelor's in 3 years just because I didn't even go to my own ceremonial graduation because none of that meant shit to me.
Either. Yeah, I didn't go either.
I just wanted my degree thing. I already had a family. I had 3 kids. I had a house. Like I wasn't into that shit. Like I wanted to get it done. I remember I took the full load every summer. Dude, okay.
You went hard, man.
Bro, let me tell you
something.
You
went beast mode in college.
So I got out of the Army and I was hella motivated, right? I'm like, now I've been out of school for 10 years. It like kind of excited me.
Right.
Started signing up for college again. I'm like, I'm about to smash this. It was in the summertime, right? And it was like, okay, I seen my degree plan and there was like, yo, the hardest classes on here are your chemistries. So I signed up for both of them in the summer without being in school for 10 years. I didn't even know how to use a calculator.
Oh, no.
I still don't know how to use one of them dumbass, big ass calculators.
Yeah. Remember when I taught you how to use Excel?
That's funny, man, because
we were doing these 30-page lab reports and you were going in and entering each box one by one.
Dude, I didn't do one fucking math problem while I was in 10 years in the
And
Army.
then I showed you how to like put in the formula and drag it.
It blew me the fuck away. I couldn't believe it. Because I met you up one day and you were doing it in the library. Yeah. It was like the last one though. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
I stayed up and put every little 6.2 points, and then I would lose my place.
Right.
And then I'd have like, mother.
It was all like these long decimal.
Oh, bro. Yeah. That's why statistics killed me too, because it was all boxed out. I didn't, dude. Were you taught that in school? How did you know how to use that?
Well, yeah. In high school we had to use Microsoft Office.
Yeah. My screens were green.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
still. I got out and I went to the Army. I don't even think I still can do long division.
Long division's easy. Come on now.
I'm dead serious. When you don't use it, I just don't use math problems.
Right.
So I got out.
Yeah.
And then I take chemistry, bro. Where it's shoved into 5 weeks in the summer, the whole semester. I have this teacher who speaks zero English and she's fucking writing from board to board, all these things like this. Jimmy, I almost walked the fuck out.
That was your statistics teacher.
Oh, that was that too.
He was straight out of Hong Kong, right?
No, physics.
Where was he from?
Yeah,
he was straight out of China, right? Yeah, he barely spoke English.
You know how
do they have a college professor who speaks Mandarin and doesn't speak English? So I remember you going, you were like, man, on top of learning this fucking physics, I got to learn Mandarin too.
It was crazy, man, because I'm just like, look, dude, physics is its own language.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what I'm doing in that class, to be completely honest with you. And he's flying through shit, right?
Right.
And I'm not talking about someone speaking English with a Chinese accent. I'm talking he was actually speaking Chinese. The boy's just going. He didn't care. Didn't turn around. Nothing. It's not even like a slur mark, right? Where it's just like fucker learn English. Nothing like that. It was like he was actually speaking Mandarin. Like he was back in the auditorium, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
yeah.
And then of course it's all formulas.
Right.
And then he turns around and he's like, that's the stuff you should know. And I'm like, do my paper up, gone, bro.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you know what I got in that class though? B+. Want to know how? Because everyone failed it.
Oh, I had a class like that.
So I had the curve saved your boy.
It was also physics with that Russian lady. Remember that Russian teacher? She was mean as fuck. And I got like a 52 in that class, and that was a B. She had to curve so hard
because they look bad.
The highest grade was like a 65.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the hell do you have 80 students in your class, and the smartest one got a 65? Something's wrong with you at that point. Like, you're a bad teacher.
I was saving it, and you see all them little smart girls crying and shit. I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew if they were failing it, we were all doing good.
Remember when
that's one thing I learned from the military. We will all fail together.
Yeah. Remember when I copied your lab report and got a better grade than you?
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about.
How did that happen?
It meant nothing. It was useless. The whole fucking thing. You know what? I learned more after college on YouTube because I was targeted and knew what to look for than I ever did in any one of them classes.
Right. I learned a lot on YouTube.
My dad talked me into that. He's old school, and he was like, dude, if you have all that money saved up, you'd be dumb not to go use it from the military to go get a degree behind your name. You'd be stupid not to do it. I was like, all right.
Well, I mean, would your life be any different now if you hadn't gotten that degree?
No.
You'd just be running a gym.
Would yours?
Maybe, because I don't think I could have gotten into the job that I'm in without a bachelor's.
But did it matter in what? You could
No. GPA didn't matter. It could have been in kinesiology or glass blowing or
Western fiddle learning.
Yeah, anything. I could have been a fucking dildo designer. I mean, it's
exactly.
Like it doesn't matter.
I mean, you already have a master's in that motherfucker.
Hey, were you the one that was showing me pictures? Yeah. And I think pretty sure it was you. When you were in Iraq, there are these giant spiders that would chase you. What are they called?
Camel spiders.
Camel spiders.
Okay.
Those things are gigantic.
Okay, let me tell you about the story of mine, all right? I already don't like regular fucking spiders. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a camel spider. So you see these things on YouTube, and I guess they're not really a spider. They're like more of a in the scorpion family, but they don't look like it.
They're huge.
They got these big ass pinchers. They're meat eaters, right? So they eat the carcasses right out of the dead camels out there, right? They just walk right. Okay. What do you think of when you see a motherfucking spider? Creepy ass little fucking slow, scary movie. Nah, these bitches run 60 plus.
What?
Miles an hour.
What?
Okay, so all right. So I'm in.
Like really? Like
I just got
60 for real, or are you exaggerating?
Dude, okay, let me tell you.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look that shit up.
Keep going. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, let me tell you. At a dead sprint, put Usain Bolt to damn shame. But let me tell you how we found that out, right? So I haven't seen one the whole time I was there. These dreaded things. I'm about to go home, and we're sitting on one of the tarmacs.
Bro, 9.9 miles per hour.
Nah, no.
Come on.
That's probably it's like 20 mile time. Dude, let me tell you, this one was at a dead sprint, and I was there, bro. So I would believe that so check this out. You think them little creepy thing, 10 miles an hour, that's fast for a spider, bro.
That's fast for most people.
Dude, there's 90% of America not doing that.
Yeah.
If those things get any bigger, we're fucked. That shit rides on a rucksack back here. That's it for 90% of these fucks.
Yeah, they'll eat them.
Gone.
Yeah.
And they love camels.
All those,
and camel toes. I'm sure of it. I mean, but let me finish my story and why I tell you they're so fucking fast. I haven't seen one yet, but I know they're big. So you think they're creepy.
Right.
We have all of our rucksacks laid out on this thing. We're getting ready to get on this Chinook. It's just going to take us from Kuwait to our base real quick. Little hour flight. We're just laying down on this big concrete thing, waiting for the helicopter to fly in. And someone says, "Camel spider." We get up. We see it. It's probably like from like 20 feet out before it hits all of the backpacks, the rucksacks that are just kind of laid out in alphabetical order. So we can just grab them and go, right? So we walk over there to it because we can't believe it. Now everybody's little cameras are coming out and shit. We're like, we got to see one of these fuckers. This one was probably only about as big as a motherfucking dinner plate. Okay.
That's not bad.
At Jasmine.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God, they're fucking real. Jimmy, no bullshit. This thing takes off. 60 miles an hour plus. Into the rucksack packs.
Oh wow.
Not towards the soldiers.
So they're aggressive.
How creepy, bro.
They're aggressive spiders.
Dude, they're
predators.
Full blown, no venom, no nothing like that. They literally have these pinchers that they just eat dead carcasses and stuff, but they'll run you down, dude. They're aggressive.
Jesus.
But they won't when they bite you, it's not like you're gonna
like could you shoot them or like
you shoot the shit out of them.
Oh yeah?
Or run them over. Yeah. Most of the time you see them hanging out, they're probably like the size of your hand. Like the big ones are rare. I don't even know if those ones on the internet are blown up. But it was the speed that freaked me out.
I think you showed me a picture of one that your buddy had shot. And he took a picture with
it. Hanging.
It was, yeah. It was like as big as his torso.
You could see those on there. There's Google images all over the place. Right. They're gross.
I thought shit like that
only
existed in Australia.
Dude, there's little versions of them in El Paso. If you go out to the desert, like at McGregor Range, when I used to live in the Northeast and stuff, they're small. They look almost like beige, right? They're like little clear fuckers with fangs. They're not quite scorpion, not quite spider.
Mm.
They're there though. They're part of the Arachnoloid family. I don't want to fuck that up, but it's one of them.
Well, leave them there. Fuck them. It's got nothing to do with me.
When we picked up our rucksacks and that fucking thing wasn't there, Jimmy, that flight I'd have jumped out the back of that Chinook. Because they cover real low. I'd have fucking ate it. Gone. See ya. I would rather be in a firefight and get blown up by an ID again than see a fucking spider like that run at me.
Yeah, you got blown up by an ID, right?
Yeah. That's a weird innate feeling to be more scared of a spider.
Than an IED? That's pretty weird, yeah.
That sucked.
How did that go? How did you make it out in one piece?
Dude, we were straight lucky. And we were in a shitty ass little 1151 Humvee too before we really got the big, was it 1151 or one down? Maybe the M998s and stuff like, yeah. So it was one of the lower armored Humvees, the smallest little vehicle that we got. I'm the scout truck in a convoy escort team, right? So we're escorting these big trucks from base to base.
Okay.
And damn, I think I can talk about this now without getting shot. Is your
PTSD gonna come back?
No, I was talking about the government listening. Because this is some shit. So no, this is basic stuff. We're just driving down MSR Tampa, okay, which is just one of the main roads in Iraq runs north to south.
Right.
And it's like, I think it was like 11 p.m. and it was like almost New Year's, maybe December 29th or something like that. And we just pulled out of this fueling station, dude. And because we were the scout truck, we're like 2 or 3 miles ahead. And I'll never forget this, right? So there's these little internal headphones that you put under your Kevlar, right? So that you can hear the guys, and a little microphone so that you can hear the guys, your gunner, and then your TC in front, and your driver, and whoever's in the back, right? Usually your shooters, or whoever's going to jump out. Maybe you're carrying something, but somebody, a medic, translator, whatever. Okay. And I'm listening, but you could plug in like your iPod back in the day, the little iPods and shit.
Yeah.
So we had downloaded music. And I plugged it in and we were playing the game. Y'all ain't fucking with the South Side. Hey. And we were bumping that shit. I mean, straight up having a fucking party. And it's cool because if you turned on the mic and talked, the music would shut off. Right. So we were kind of still professional. Dude, right when we were talking about that, boom, this damn IED went off on the right side of the truck. Gunner fell through the thing. Truck flew over. Blew the tires off, blew all the radio stuff off. That was what scared everybody because we couldn't radio back, right? Mm. And so, like I said, we're about 2 miles ahead of them. Bent the 50 cal barrel like a question mark, dude. You've seen a 50 cal barrel,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a decent human to carry one. You know what I mean? They're 50, 60 pounds. Something like that. So it's a good chunk of steel, like it was a straw at Denny's. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
And luckily, everybody got dinged up, but the truck got beat to death. But all of us were straight. We got out of there, and everybody had rocks in their face. And driver hit the steering wheel, no seatbelt.
That's how you got your Purple Heart from.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. Oh, so check this out. Campbell Soup owes me a damn sponsorship after this one.
Oh.
So check this out. Shout out to Camel Soup. I don't know why I screamed that. I don't know why I yelled that. I'm not even mad at him.
You're really pushing for the sponsorship.
No, it was crazy because, all right, I had one of those massive, this is going to sound crazy, but you won't believe how this became a projectile, okay? I had one of those big
You launched soup at people?
No, man, for me.
Okay.
Okay, so I had my safety goggles on, right? So I was in the back, and I had that family size of chicken noodle soup, the big ass one.
Yeah.
Okay, from, no can opener, so I'm opening it with a Gerber, just prying it open, right? And then the Gerber has a spoon on it.
Oh,
so
perfect.
I just peel it halfway up. And it looks like Jaws mouth, Yeah, so it's just back. And then I was eating it. We were singing. Y'all ain't fucking with the South Side, right? Just jamming out, having a normal ass night. Every night we'd be on that same road doing, patrols and all this other shit. We kind of knew it. And there was just, and it ended up being cell phone detonated. It was a 155 tank round that they buried, and it was remote. So it wasn't pressure plated or nothing like that. They used to use garage door openers, all this crazy shit, right? But anyways, with the Campbell soup, when the explosion went off, that Campbell soup can sliced my cheek open.
Oh, shit.
In my hand, like it was like grenade shrapnel. You know what I'm saying? Because it just went like this.
Right.
Boom, blood squirted everywhere.
Could have cut your eye open.
I had them fucking goggles on. I would have lost it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I like Campbell's. I like tomato.
Well, speaking of stuff like that, didn't you, when you were younger, you would tell girls that your parents owned the Chupa Chups, the lollipop company?
Dude, I'd be walking around high school with those things in my ears. Because that's what everybody used to ask. They're like, last name Chupa. They're like the lollipop. And at first I didn't ever know what those were. And then I seen them and I said, no way. So I told everybody that for a long time. You
just walk around passing out lollipops to the ladies?
Until I realized I was their neighbor. Lived in the same house they did.
Yeah.
Didn't last long. Probably not past 6th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's crazy. Campbell.
Dude, oh, yeah, bro. So after that, we all jump out. Okay. I'm irate. So I just start letting off right towards wherever it happened because I knew that there was no one around. And then we see this truck with its, because we have the IR on, right? The infrared.
Oh.
So I see this truck about 300 meters just taking off. Dude, this is a dead middle of night. It's a war zone. Every normal family's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? And this truck just peels off after we get smoked. You know what I'm saying? Right. We have no radio, so we can't radio them back. We can't even tell them, go get them. So finally the medics and everybody comes up there. We hop on theirs. We call in this I think it's an AH-64 or something like that, Apache attack helicopter. They're always in the area at night, and they picked them up. And when they went to go try to find him, they couldn't find him. So homeboy got off. Still irks me today. But everybody lived, bro. All my guys were straight, luckily.
That's what's up. Where did you deploy besides Iraq?
I was in Jordan before that.
So, but mainly the Middle East, Arabian Peninsula?
It was all over there. Yeah.
You never went far east like Korea, Vietnam?
No, my whole unit did. I got out right before they went to Korea. All my boys.
Soldiers love Korea. American soldiers, they go to Korea, they don't want to come back.
Yep.
They got like 2-3 girlfriends a day. They just love it. I know a guy, juicy girls.
Gotta get you some juices.
I know a guy who's 75 years old. He was in the army for 30 years. And he goes, I had the time of my life in Korea. If the army will take me back right now, I'll go back.
Yep.
He just said it was like,
if you go to the Air Force Base, Osan, right, which is near all the big stuff, and then you get to downtown Seoul, people told me that they live there. So tell people. I've had boys go there at 19, and I've had boys go there like older ones. You know what I'm saying? Go there in their 40s, and they all said the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them come back with babies.
Lots.
A lot of them come back.
Well, let me tell you who comes back.
Well,
not to shit on my military boys, but let me tell you who comes back with juicy girls.
Hold on, tell people what's juicy girls. You got to explain that.
Okay, so look, I don't know any other way to explain it. Like if that's disrespecting anybody, what the fuck ever. That's what you're known as, and that's just a worldwide thing wherever you go, right?
Okay.
So there's these bars in Korea that you go into, and essentially these girls will walk up to you and start conversating, but you got to keep buying them the juice, a little alcohol, a little sippy sip. You know what I'm saying?
So they call them juicy girls?
Little juicy girls. Yeah, it's just a little nickname for them because to keep them engaged with you. And they'll sit in your lap and schmooze your ass and shit. As long as you keep, you know.
So like they're hired by the bar?
They are. They own.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So
they're kind of like waitresses, like kind of like they're waitresses, like not waitresses, but they're there to entertain, to keep the men hooked, to keep them buying drinks. Okay, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, okay.
And then of course you could pay for more if you'd like.
Right.
Okay.
I imagine there's no laws governing that over there.
You know, man, I don't know. It's like, it seems like it's such a, like I said, man, like this was my boy, all my boys came back and they were all in their early 20s, single, no families. So they went when you should go. Right. And I don't know if it's just blatantly open and like legit, or people just don't give a fuck.
Right.
Right. But they got this little old grandma in charge of these bars.
What?
Named Ajima. That's not her name. That's the title. You know what I'm saying? That's Ajima. Dude, let me tell you, you think the Gambino Scorsese crime mob will fuck you up if you mess them over? Dude, these girls were violent. I've heard like a lot of like soldiers not paying up, and then being met in the back with 30 Korean dudes in the alley, just chasing them, beating them up.
Machetes?
Oh yeah, just straight up gangsters. Like they run that district. The old grandmas there, like legit. You don't fuck with them.
And the grandma's in charge of everybody.
All of them.
They're probably all her kids, her grandkids.
Yeah, they are now. You know what I'm saying? But the stories my boys came back with was like, I can't even believe the shit. They're humping and, you know. Oh man.
Every day a different girl.
It's crazy. Yeah, because that's the type of thing that you can do. Or, you know, you could go like one of my boys told me he ate cat or a dog or some shit and he got tricked into it. And I swear to God, he's like, I got home. He's like, I hated my dog ever since. Can't look at him the same.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what he has this fucking thing with a dog now. He just got freaked out and ate a dog out there. They eat dogs.
Yeah, I know, but he ate a dog and then he started hating his dog.
So yeah, he had a weird reaction to his dog when he got home, which means he probably secretly loved it. The taste. So he's about to clip his dog. I don't know. That's what he told me. He's like, fuck it, man. I can't fucking have a dog anymore.
Cat meat is higher in protein, though. If you have to pick one of those two, you're better off eating cat meat than dog meat. It's like 50% protein. Dog's only like 12%.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, I don't need either one. I'm okay with beef.
I tried some camel.
How was it?
Stale.
Really?
A little stale.
Is it good though? Like,
I mean, I'm sure, but I grew up here, so you have this sense of like either a burger or a hot dog taste in a certain way, and when the shit's off, you're foul about it because they didn't do it my way. Good old American thinking right there.
Well, but some meats are like
just
have a really strong flavor, like deer. Like I don't like deer as much as I've tried over the years to eat deer because I have friends who go hunt. They try to give me some deer meat, and I've tried to eat it. I've tried to get myself to like it, to convince myself that it's delicious. I've tried the jerky. I've tried. I don't know what I had one time. Deer sausage.
That's because Joe Rogan be talking.
Couldn't do it, man. Well, he talks about elk a lot.
Yeah,
not so much deer. I've never had elk. I heard elk and oryx are the best.
I mean,
if you're gonna eat stuff like that.
Look, I've had somebody just the other day buy me an elk steak.
How was it? Where?
I didn't eat it.
Oh,
I still have it.
Dude, let's cook it tonight. Let's try it.
You can have it.
No, let's try it.
Here's the thing. I remember the last time that I ate venison.
I thought you were a man.
Oh. See that peck pop of love right there? Those things still move on at will, buddy. The day they don't, I'm telling you, listen to this. I've eaten it one time at my boy's house, and his mom made it, and I fucking yacked.
Elk?
Elk and deer.
Really?
Avid hunter had it. We went over. My dad was like, "You're gonna have a barbecue. Let's go eat all this shit." Because it looks like steak to me,
yes.
Or it looks like a hot dog, or it looks like a hamburger patty, and then you eat it and it's foul as fuck. And they're like, I bet you if they eat beef, they'd yak.
I don't think so. I'm sure they eat beef. I had buffalo steak one time, and it was no,
awful. That's very close.
It was awful.
Yeah, because it's too lean. It gets dry.
No, No, I
Oh,
don't
it's
think it was
gamey
that
too?
lean. It was just kind of slimy.
Oh, I meant bison. My bad.
Bison. Well, that's buffalo, isn't it? It was kind of slimy. I didn't
All I
like
know is I have a boy named the Great American Bison.
Why is that? What's that about?
Oh,
Hey, didn't you have a friend who broke his dick one time?
that's a real thing. Okay. 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 You ready for that one?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy was rich. So his grandpa had this lake house, but he was never home. He was always yachting out somewhere. And he obviously lived with his mom. We were in high school at the time. And, just had his little old girlfriend there and stuff like that. And we would go and it was like he had this big, nice yard that led down to the lake and like no one was there. So it was like the high school. We were like, what the fuck? This is the spot. Right. Okay. So he's in the back humping. All right. And I'm on the outside on the front porch. Okay, kicking it with like 2 or 3 other dudes. This dude comes running out, stark ass naked. My boy in his full birthday suit, right?
Shit.
Screaming bloody murder. Not the screams where you're like, you've seen something scary. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking the blood curdling ones where you know somebody's hurt. Where you go like this in the back of your neck. You're like, oh my God, that's for real.
Right.
So this guy's yelping like a little fucking chihuahua. You know what I mean? And okay, so what happened is she's on top, right? And it slipped out.
Oh, she doing squats?
Yep. And came down with the full force of the side of her gluteal fold.
Gluteal fold.
Right in the creasy
You
crease.
fucking kiddies major. Gluteal fold. Oh no.
Okay, with the full force
and just came down on it and broke it.
Full-blown trained kimchi squat. Yes, she was. She wasn't big, but I mean, she wasn't little. You know what I'm saying? So my boy literally got his shit bent clean in half.
Oh.
He said he actually heard the popping noise.
No, that.
Every time I do that story, I have to do dips to get pressure off my nuts. Like I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, but yeah, so name my boy Travis. Shout out to that. I hope he fixed that. I don't know. I don't know how that affected him later.
What, did you call his parents or what happened? Like, did you?
Okay, so no, he toughed it.
What?
He toughed it.
He didn't go to the hospital.
No, so let me show you. Man, what the fuck are you gonna say?
You go to the doctor. Hey, I broke my dick.
3 days later.
What do I do? Give me some blood thinners or something.
See, now I've heard of it.
Now every time he gets a hard on, it's like.
But
it's
that's
like
a ridiculous.
At a 90-degree angle.
Hey, your boy could probably peep around the corner. Guaranteed, it never went fully back. That's guaranteed. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. That's for real. Because there's no way he came back from that. Because 2 days later, he showed us, and it was fully black and blue.
Oh, no.
So he wasn't lying. I thought he was lying. It was fully black and blue. He said, dude, every time he woke up and got morning wood, he said it would be 30 minutes of him biting his pillow.
Well, that's what I heard. If that happens, if you break your dick, you're supposed to go get on blood thinners. That way you can't get hard for like a month.
Or whatever they put you on in Army basic training. Saltpeter. I don't know if that's a myth.
Some girls watch too much porn. That squat, the squats are unnecessary. Right? Like they're I mean,
it's dangerous if you don't know.
It's dangerous, dude. It's dangerous.
What happened was she gave him a little bit too much confidence, came up a little too high.
Oh, yeah.
You should have acted like you knew who you had.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Damn.
Right? I guess. But I mean, that's got to be a common accident.
I don't know. Let me see if I can find a stat on that. That'd be interesting to find out.
That has to be more common than you think, because it ain't just from there that it would happen.
Let's see, dude. We got to figure this out. This would be an interesting stat. Imagine it's like. Make a guess. What do you think?
Okay, so check this out. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you whatever you see right there.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay, give me your number.
Okay.
What's your guess?
I don't know, but listen, whatever you see right there, triple it for the people who don't say shit.
Probably. Okay, so
I'm not walking in the emergency room saying that.
yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
You're not going to risk not fixing it.
Yes, I would.
So on menshealth.com, a record number of men were treated for a broken penis last year. The youngest patient was 18 and the oldest was in his late 70s.
My man.
It's a fate you wouldn't even wish on your worst enemy, but a record number of men underwent surgery after snapping their manhood in 2019, according to NHS. Primarily affecting men in their 30s and 40s, a grand total of 164 blokes wound up hospitalized with a fractured penis last year.
Oh, blokes, huh? That's got to be Google Scholar.
It's menshealth.com. I don't know why they're using the word blokes. That's
they're being real. That's why.
Yeah,
that's a serious thing. I told you.
The number of broken penises is going up.
Pandemic.
Yeah, I guess so.
Everybody's at home.
Oh my God, man.
Hey,
but that's not too bad. And I don't know if that's worldwide or America. Men's Health, I think that's only America, isn't it?
I forgot about that.
I don't know.
Story.
But that's like 12, 13 men a month.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's nothing. We're talking hundreds of millions of people.
Okay.
12 broken dicks a month.
Did I say times it by 3? I meant to the power of 3.
No,
bro.
No, it can't be that many.
I would never walk into the damn emergency room with that. Dude, let me tell you what happened to the other day.
I'd walk in holding it and crying.
No. Let me tell you how much I'm dead serious about not walking into the fucking emergency room. I hate emergency rooms. 6 months ago or so, right? I'm training, and I got Miguel, my oldest son, right? And it's no-gi day. And we're just warming up with our push-pull, clinch work. I kind of snap his head down, and I got him in a light little front headlock, no guillotine, nothing like that. I just got him in a little light front headlock position. And he grabs to try to take his head out. He pulls his arms, and he throws his elbow up. My tongue's hanging out.
Oh, shit.
Chomped my tongue. I bit my tongue in half. It's hanging off, right? So I run to the mirror because now it's leaking more than most of the times that you bite your tongue.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And I literally looked at it, and it's in half, and there's just chunk missing. Okay. So I go home that night. All right. And still didn't go to the emergency room, thinking that if I kept my tongue in place, because tongues heal fast, that the shit would re-heal overnight, at least in place. Nah. Got up. The second I opened my mouth, my tongue flopped out of my mouth. It was so swollen.
Damn.
Right. So I finally went to the emergency room. She called me an idiot because now most of the time stitches won't take the next day. You got to get stitches right away. Right. Otherwise, they're just going to have to try to let it heal long term. But then my tongue's in half. So she gave me 4 or 5 stitches in the back of my tongue. The second I get home, 1 pops.
Oh, geez.
And she was like, "That's the best thing that I can do for you." You know what I'm saying? And
how do they do that? They have to hold your tongue out with pliers.
So
or
she
something?
gave me the shot that the dentists do in the back to numb me up first.
Right, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
She's got to numb your gag reflex too.
She had another nurse open my mouth up, pull my tongue to the side.
Oh God.
Because she needed 2 hands to do the suture and the thingies. And I hear it popping in there, like getting back through. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go back through all of this pain again.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. And by the way, it was just a fucking urgent care. So there was no pain meds or nothing involved. She was like, take some Tylenol. Dude, let me tell you, you don't know how much you use your tongue until that thing is like that.
Oh, you use your tongue quite a bit.
Dude, you
don't stop talking.
That's good. You use your tongue when you fucking think. The shit moves with your words in your head. It's literally linked to your vocal cortex in your brain.
I never thought about that.
That's why if you have a really mad thought that you say in your head, like you want to fuck someone up, or you have a real cry that you're trying to hold back, and that's what that lump in your throat is called. That's all related to emotional thought and your root of your tongue. Do some research on that, man. The root of your tongue the tongue is probably the most underrated thing inside of the body. The way for breathing, the way it's supposed to be up on the palate,
right?
For the way that people start having the look of mouth breathers, they start having that open mouth drop, that long nasal, no cheekbones, very crowded front teeth, all that stuff, and they're terrible breathers. That's all from tongue position. Dude, you got to look into mewing. Mewing. His name's Dr. Mike Mew.
Oh. I thought that was a condition.
No, it's something that you do where you push your tongue root up all the way up to the palate of your mouth, right?
Right.
Your tongue literally supports your cranium. and it expands your teeth around your tongue because it's there all the time unless you're talking or eating, right? So your tongue is supposed to be constantly resting at the roof of your mouth. Well, your teeth will grow around that.
Right.
So what happened evolutionary is we started eating soft foods.
Yes.
Okay. That's why you can see, like in the Asian culture, right? A lot of the flat faces come from soft rice diets early. They don't have anything to chew. So the bone and jaw musculature never develops.
Right.
Okay. But a lot of people got away from that, and the tongue was a big part of that. Now, what do? They go get braces. They move it around. They get teeth pulled to get it out of the way, as opposed to expanding the palate with a big fat tongue.
Yep.
Your teeth will. That's why if you look at any of the bones, the dental bones of like, any of the ancient,
as little as 300 years ago.
Right. They all have perfect teeth.
Yes.
They all chew hard roots, tough meats, masseters out to here, but they all use their tongues.
Bigger jaws, straighter teeth.
Great breathers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All tongues up, nice wide palates, nice big, thick, wide sinuses. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Shit like that.
Yep.
So
it helps you sleep better.
1,000%. Yeah. Yep. People don't even know. Most sleep apnea patients, all it is a tongue placement problem.
Right.
You gotta look up mewing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's an actual thing that you do.
How's that spelled?
MEU.
Okay.
Ing.
MEU. So yes. Dr. Mew, so it's named after him?
Yes, and Dr. Mew, he's a dentist orthodontist out of
Was he on Joe Rogan? Is that where you found out about him?
No,
because I heard a guy on there talk about that.
No, I actually found out about him through some of the nasal breathing guys that I was looking through.
Because you had your nose fixed.
Right. So if you look up like Patrick McGowan, he wrote the Oxygen Advantage. And the way to breathe and the way that we overbreathe and all this other bullshit. And
we overbreathe?
We overbreathe.
Really?
Yes. Go look at that. The Oxygen Advantage.
We're taking in too much air?
Too much oxygen. Yes. We need to be more CO2 tolerant because that actually transfers oxygen in your blood cells better. It's so crazy, but the science has been there. But people just don't talk about it.
Well, most people that I listen to talk about breathing, they talk about how we're supposed to take in more air.
Over oxygenate.
So we can oxygenate. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought too.
Like Wim Hof is one of them.
And he debates all of that because obviously he gets asked about Wim.
Damn, nobody knows what's up.
Yeah. So
it all gets so confusing when you start looking into all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know what to believe in the end.
So down the rabbit hole, that shit took me to tongue placement. Yeah. Because you can't nasal breathe if your tongue is on the floor of your mouth. You neck breathe. And when you neck breathe, you use your sternos right up here. You use all your scalenes and you use your traps to raise your upper rib cage. Well, that's anxiety breathing because you're only using the upper lobes of your lungs and you're using accessory breathing muscles and not your diaphragm. That's what most people breathe into, and it sets you in a state of anxiety. And people think they're having a panic attack when really they're breathing themselves into a fucking panic attack. Right. Because that bullshit right there is what you do when you're freaked.
If you're 50 pounds overweight, it doesn't help.
Doesn't matter.
Right. But it doesn't help because you're taking less air. Everything's more constricted, and you probably have high blood pressure, which means you've got less oxygen going to your brain.
Well, here's the thing. And then they started getting on Wim. They were like, because the big thing about the tongue is you need to keep it up to nasal breathe properly, because when the tongue rests at the top of the mouth, creates that suction on the bottom of your nasal cavity, and your diaphragm is directly related to your nasal cavity, not your oral. That's why when you breathe from your mouth, you use your neck muscles like this, right? You use those. Your jaw comes down, right, just to suck that little bit of air like that. Thank you, buddy. Right on cue, man. Fucking Uncle Jimmy. Yeah. So, I got into the tongue thing, man, and the tongue thing will take you crazy, crazy places, bro. Get into that shit. And then anyways, the mewing thing, that's just, nobody should be in braces. No kid should be in braces. No kid. I mouth tape my 8-year-old to sleep every night because he was a mouth breather. I literally bought the stuff from him, and it's KT tape that opens up around the mouth. It's like a little square and it's cut out in the middle. So you stretch it over the lips and it goes like this. And it keeps your lips sealed at night so that you keep your tongue up and you nasal breathe all night for nose breathers.
That's awesome.
Look into mouth taping, man. That's something that snores and sleep apnea patients, that's all they have to do instead of fucking suffer all night.
Yeah.
The reason why that's happening is their tongue is falling in the back of their mouth.
Yes.
Because you don't have the suction to keep it up. So besides the little stupid tongue breathing that we were getting to, you're talking about snoring, bad sleep, nasal breathing, and then malformation in children's faces. right? As they grow, because they don't have their tongue up. All that all could be.
And they're not chewing.
Right.
They're not chewing.
They're not chewing.
What do kids eat?
Right.
They eat a bunch of mushy food.
Mushy
they don't
shit.
chew.
Yep.
Like once your teeth come out, you're supposed to start chewing.
Yep.
At least once you have molars.
Right.
And we don't give kids anything that requires chewing. Everything's super soft. Everything is mashed potatoes and pasta and
out of a
that
box.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. Quick in the mic. You know what I'm saying?
I try to find hard foods to chew, man. I don't find
it's
them.
hard to buy them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because nobody wants that. There's no market for it.
You know what you got to do is you got to get all your meats on the bone and
Jerk.
pick it the fuck up.
That
Jerkies.
or jerky. Yeah.
You can do that.
I used to get beef jerky and I'd put it in the freezer and I'd eat it frozen.
You can't eat that Alberto shit. You see, you should be doing what I've been doing since back in the day. Is I've been fucking an ice chomper my entire life.
Oh, really?
I will go get a cup full of ice from the fridge, not put a damn drop of water in that bitch and chew just ice cubes this thick. Kah! My mom used to yell at me, "Stop that shit! You're gonna break your tooth." Bro, I have never had a cavity, and I've never had any problems with my teeth ever like that. They've never cracked or nothing like that. And I literally chew ice all fucking day long.
I like to chew bones. I crack bones when I'm eating stuff with bones. I crack them.
I'm a gristle killer.
Yeah.
Like chicken wings.
Didn't you work for a dentist years ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
Because I wanted to go into dentistry. So
then you got in a fight with him, didn't you?
No, I beat up his son.
You beat up his son? Why?
God. Okay, so let me tell you. Oh my God, this story's crazy as fuck too. I work with this dude, and his nephew worked there too, who was cool as shit. Okay, I won't name any names, so you guys don't have to know about any of that shit. But I'll tell you the exact story. Okay, and his whole family worked there except me, essentially, right? The whole front staff, all the hygienists and all that. This is in El Paso, right? So I was the only other dude who was like out of place. But the nephew, the one who would like clean around and shit like that, was cool as fuck. We had the same birthday. I had a little apartment over there. I only had one kid at the time. It was real early. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, hey, I'm throwing a little birthday party. Go ahead and come over too, because I know it's your birthday. Come kick it at my crib. You know what I mean? I never invited him over before. So I have all my army boys over there because that's all I knew at the time, essentially, right? And the dude comes in, Tito comes in, and then like 5 to 10 seconds later, like 15 to 20 other people come in that I've never seen in my life. I'm like, man, who's this? He's like, oh, I thought it was my birthday party too, so I invited my friends too. Man, that's some crazy ass shit to even assume, right? So anyway, really, I was probably so wasted, I really didn't even give a fuck, right? One of the dudes was the dentist's son, right? I've never met him. So he comes in, okay? And supposedly him, his girl, and my boy were in the kitchen, and my boy smacked his girl's ass right in front of him, right? And the dude's black. So, essentially that little racist shit came out after that, right? They started yelling in the kitchen. They started fighting. Then a big brawl just assumed in my living room, right? Because this was just like a 2-bedroom apartment in El Paso. You know what I'm saying? So there's like 15 to 20 people in there. All their people peel out. They didn't want none of the smoke with the army dude. Every one of them left, except the 2 dudes getting beat up in the kitchen because they were trapped, right? They would have left too. Yeah. All their other homies and girlfriends left, gone, ping, right out. I mean, in the cars and everything, not just the weight, gone. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I get into it because now I see a couple of them. I have no idea what happened. So I'm beating this dude up, right? This is just within the scuffle. This is just me getting on people. Stupid me back in the day, right? And I'm following this guy down these concrete stairs, beating him up as he's running from me. He turns around as I let him go down the last step. It's the dude's son. Okay? So this is a Saturday night. Sunday morning. It says, work. I was like, here we go. Dude, I got the ass chewing of a lifetime. Just getting in my ass. This is what you did to my son. Blah, 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 blah. He was right. But he didn't hear what his son called my other boy, right? And then the whole ass slapping thing was fake. I'm not fake, but it didn't happen. I don't know if he thought it happened. Someone said it happened, but the dude never smacked his girl's butt, right? So the whole thing was kind of his fault. He didn't deserve a beating like that. You know what I'm saying? It was bad. but he didn't fire me. But it was awkward.
Why didn't he fire you?
Because it happened off and off work hours. I told him he wasn't invited anyways. Don't even know how he got up into my house. All I invited was his nephew, right? Because we were cool. That's the only one I knew. I said he messed up and invited all these other dudes and stuff. One happened to be your son, and he was out there smack talking some dudes inside of somebody else's house, and he got his ass whipped.
Right.
Where the fuck you think you're at?
Lesson learned.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No guns, no knives, no nothing. Just straight up old school fashion. Get your ass beat. Everyone went home. You know what I mean? Where are those days gone?
Oh, gone, man. Gone. But that's one of the beautiful things about Washington State. You can duke it out in the streets out here, you know?
Mutual combat law, buddy.
That's probably just an excuse for like your wife to punch you in the face in public.
No, check this out. So I don't know if you know this, and this is some stuff that you're going to have to Google right now or whatever you're doing.
Tell me.
There's this guy who runs around the Seattle streets in superhero costumes, right? Who's an actual MMA fighter, legit. I forgot his name. I always do. Okay? Who has an actual MMA record. He beats up criminals in downtown Seattle at night under that mutual combat law.
Seattle superhero arrested, accused of assault.
What's his name?
Phoenix Jones.
Phoenix Jones. There you go. And he always gets off on those on mutual combat laws. He walks around in superhero costumes and beats up bad guys downtown.
That's awesome.
Dude, he's the shit. What the fuck? And he can actually fight. You know what I mean? He's like a legit fighter.
His name is Benjamin John Francis Fodor.
That's his real name?
That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Right. I didn't know all that.
Seattle superhero Phoenix Jones charged after undercover drug bust. Whoa. He's taking a big risk, man. That's a crazy thing to do.
Dude. And people know he
can't actually block bullets or knives. You know, he gets into the wrong neighborhood.
Literally, when somebody told me that, I thought they were lying. I said, shut your mouth. And then
doesn't surprise me. I mean, if 15 guys a month break their dicks, you got one guy.
See what I'm saying, man?
You got one guy that goes around beating up people. That's not
what
that
I'm
crazy,
saying, bro.
But so how does it work? Like if I'm in an altercation with somebody outside, and we decide we're going to duke it out, the police just will stand there and watch, and then they don't arrest anybody.
I think I'm not sure. Don't quote me because
you haven't tested it yet.
I mean that's what I was going to use. I just haven't actually called out anybody on it. But this is, I think, come on, how much do you need? Get a cell phone out and say, do you want to fight me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. Here you go. That's what I would show the court and be like, whoa, fuck. You just got your ass whipped. He didn't pull out no weapons. He didn't use a rock. He just put you in a fucking rear naked choke.
But so two people can fight.
I just think you
can beat the shit out of someone.
It has to be agreed.
Okay.
Right? Which I think.
So you need to document the
consent. I think a video would suffice.
I think so.
It would have to for now. What are you going to go to court and wait 3 days?
Or if police are there. But police will just stand there and let people fight.
Or you could be a legit notary. Have both of you sign on the spot.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's ways to fucking do it, buddy.
If you're going to go that far, just bring them into your gym and make them sign a waiver.
I really don't know who's tested it and how far that goes, but I know it's a legit law because I've asked and called bluff on it. But it's real. Yeah. It really is real. You could street fight here.
But it's kind of a leftist state.
Kind of.
It's kind of amazing that they is it really? It's amazing that they have that kind of law out here, given how
that's what
the politics are. Like the politics don't really match with the rest of the state.
I know. I don't know where that would hold up in court. I don't know what the boundary for that is. I don't know, like, what is it, one punch too much?
Right.
Where the guy goes into a coma now, but hold on a second. He said cool.
How are the gun laws here? Like,
I think up to right now, we still have open carry. And I went here and I got my concealed license in 25 days.
And as a veteran, all you have to do is apply, right? You don't have to take a class.
No, I didn't have to take a class. I just applied, paid the $25 to the sheriff department. They did their background check, and a month later, I got it in the mail.
Right.
Straight up. Every 5 years, I renew it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
it's relatively normal.
Right. Yeah,
it's still open carry here.
Without a license?
Without a concealed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could just open carry?
Yes. Yeah. You don't have to.
Nobody does that, though. People don't like to open carry. I don't like to open carry.
No,
I don't like it. I feel like I'm putting a target on my back.
It's undrawn attention.
Yeah,
that's not what I
like
want it for.
Nobody like when it got approved in Texas, because it used to be Texas concealed handgun license.
And that's a fake ass flex.
And then it became licensed to carry, right? Because Texas used to be concealed carry only, and then sometime like maybe 4 years ago, they legalized open carry as well. You still have to have a license. It's not like Arizona where you could just do it.
The only time I see that is beneficial is if you like.
But nobody's done it, is what I'm saying. I like they
do it here all the time.
In all these years since they allowed open carry in Texas, I've seen maybe tops 5 people in 5 years open carry.
Yeah.
And I was working at the gun shop, and like 3 out of those 5 I saw them at the gun shop open carrying, so
that's what I'm saying.
So maybe they were just at the range. Maybe they're not actually.
That's what I'm saying.
And one time I saw a guy at Cracker Barrel carrying a revolver. I'm like, at least if you're going to open carry, act like you're from this century.
Right.
Like, what do you got a cowboy gun for?
Right. That's why I said that's a flex. Bro.
But he was at Cracker Barrel.
I don't want people
so it kind of makes sense. You're wearing cowboy boots. You got a cowboy gun. You think you're going to go outside and have a duel with your 45 long Colt?
Right.
How crazy is that, man? You talk about mutual combat laws where you can fight people in the streets right now in Washington. Not that long ago, you could have a duel with someone.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I might talk my way out of that.
Like your grandfather or great-grandfather for sure, if not your grandfather for sure, your great-grandfather lived through a time where 2 guys would get in an altercation at a bar. They'd go outside and shoot each other.
Why wouldn't they just fucking fight? Why would, even though, okay, guns, great. Yeah, we'll take them and we'll do our thing. And if somebody needs to be put down.
Tradition.
Why can't you just scrap it out?
Tradition. I mean, back in the day, the Irish, I guess they fight. Back in the day, in most of the world, you'd get in a sword fight, and then in America,
but not when you're kicking it at a bar. Dueling. That's what I'm saying.
Would you rather duel or sword fight?
Oh shit, duel. Put that motherfucker right there, dude. Being stabbed, you ain't quite gone yet.
Or sliced.
Oh, nah. Shoot me.
Yeah.
Shoot your boy.
But I feel like.
Hey, how fucking twitchy you think they'd be before, man?
Not at all.
Get out of town.
No, they're sitting there shooting whiskey. They're
You're
calm.
Human.
They're shooting whiskey.
So what would you just aim at the one in the middle?
So no, they just walk outside.
That's how drunk you'd have to be.
They go outside the saloon. Nah, listen, you just had like 8 shots of whiskey. You go outside the saloon and you're chill. Like your nerves are calm because you're drunk. And then you
I should have fought like that.
Then you sling. You sling guns like Bob Munden. You ever seen Bob Munden?
I should have put some Absolute in a water bottle back before all my fights got schlotterbond.
Yeah, anybody watching, listening, you need to look up Bob Munden balloon shot. It's unbelievable. You cannot believe. I'll show you after the podcast. I'm gonna pull it up. You cannot believe that he actually did that.
What do you mean?
Bro,
he's a precision shooter?
His
or a speed shooter.
Yes. He pulls out of the holster. He shoots a classic cowboy revolver.
Right, yep.
45 long Colt.
Yep.
He pulls out of the holster, racks the hammer. You know how they do it like that, the Cowboys?
Yep.
Where they kind of swipe down to crack the hammer and shoot. And he does it faster than the blink of an eye. You cannot see it.
I know. I seen that guy.
He shoots 2 balloons and you only hear 1 shot.
That's fucking crazy.
8 feet apart. He shoots 2 balloons 8 feet apart. You only hear 1 shot. So there could be 2 dudes standing in front of him, guns drawn.
Right.
And he can shoot them both in the head before they know what happened.
They won't even have the shit out.
They don't even have time to pull the trigger. It's insane.
See, that's how I feel in a fight.
Oh, please.
I'm dead fucking serious. Okay, do you know how much of the average male population could scrap?
Oh, sure. If you're talking about the average population.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm not average. So I feel the same way.
Right. Okay. Good.
No. I've thought about this.
You're talking about duels at a bar. You're not gonna. It's gonna be very rare that there's gonna be 2 high-level MMA fighters.
And those guys don't want to fight.
They'd probably realize that the first wrestling shot was real and then get up and be buds.
Yeah. They're like, oh damn.
Oh, where you train at, dog?
Yeah, good double leg.
Give each other cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Poriata.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm telling you, fight a goof troop, dude.
Because you like I've thought about this in El Paso. I'm like, how many guys in the city can actually kick my ass? Like, how many guys, if I got in a fight with, will I be in trouble? Or like, okay,
let's add size and athleticism there. Let's say 7%.
Less than 0.25%.
Whoa.
Less than 0.25%. What's 0.25% of 700,000 people?
Oh, see, man.
Let's do the math.
Okay.
700,000 people times 0.25%. That's 1,750 people. There are not that many dudes in El Paso that can beat my ass. So it's probably like 0.05%. There's not more than 24.
There's more than 24 in one gym.
2 dozen guys tops. I know who they are. I trained with most of them.
2 dozen? There would have been 2 dozen in one.
There's no more than that. How many legit fighters in El Paso that could
seems actually, like there's a lot now.
Yeah, but you got. I didn't start doing this yesterday. So I train at a lot of different gyms, and there's probably 2 dozen guys that can legit kick my ass. And I'm going 2 dozen because there's some badasses in boxing gyms that I don't know. There are some badass boxers that I've never trained.
Then you got to add just the big, beefy, athletic guys who will maul you.
Yeah, like UTEP football team, that kind of thing.
There's got to be a couple.
Well, but that depends on where we are. If I have space to move around, I'm going to win.
I got to represent. Then there's a couple little guys who are talking about, I'll fuck Jimmy up right now.
Who?
I'm just saying.
Oh,
there's a couple of them.
If we're talking about like football guys, like big ass athletes from UTEP, space would factor in. If I can move around them, if I have space, I have the advantage. I'll get them eventually. But if I'm cornered and they just rush me, yeah. 300 pound linebacker rushes you, you're screwed. It doesn't matter if you know jiu-jitsu. He's just gonna.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, he's just gonna. I mean, I've thought about this.
Yeah.
So extrapolate that to the country, right? What does that? What does that come out to in the entire
That's what
country?
I'm saying. So what are your odds of you being in a bar with someone who could even get you?
Very low. Very, very low.
Guns can't do that for you. It's so iffy. But a fight is so pure, skill-based.
I mean, as is gunslinging, though.
I mean, but fuck. You get 2 dope bastards, and I mean, remember both dudes got shot a lot of the times? They both can get hit.
Yeah, that's hilarious, yeah.
What the fuck, then?
Yeah. Well, it's just funny, man. Like I'm saying, that wasn't that long ago.
I might have avoided that.
Probably.
But you know what I would have been if I was in a different life? I would have been a damn gladiator or Spartan or some shit.
You're too small for that.
No, bro.
You'd have been an archer.
I can't even pull those motherfuckers back. You got to be 6'2" to draw that big ass bitch back. Fuck that. Nah, put me in the front.
You'd have been delivering letters. You'd have been the letter guy, riding the horse, delivering the letter.
No, I wouldn't. I'd have been that little humpback motherfucker on 300.
Because you're only like 130 pounds. You won't weigh down the horse.
Hey, I bet you I picked that shield up. Hey, hell no. And I feel like I got smaller through the generations.
You have. You were bigger at one point.
Oh, dude, I started eating better. I tried to get big.
But you're also not lifting.
No.
You're doing
just straight MMA.
TRX and kettlebells.
Yes. I do everything. My workout regimen now is so supplemental. If you're sore from your workout regimen, you're doing it wrong because your workout is not supposed to fuck your natural life up or your sport up.
Right.
It's supposed to supplement it. People ask me all the time too, like, what about supplements? I'm like, well, hold the fuck on. Are you talking about something where you're just lacking a little bit in your food? Or are you talking about you want to suck down GNC because you don't want to eat good? That's not what supplements are.
Well, no.
Listen to the word.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a supplement. It's not a substitute.
When people are walking around like this from fucking leg day, I'm like, dude, that feeling didn't make you get bigger.
Right.
Now you fucked up 3 training days because your volume that week is down, and now let's say you have a fight coming up or whatever sport you do, it's garbage training. You're waddling around and you're doing crap jujitsu with your legs sore and you don't want to be there or if you're little injuries and you keep going and shit like that, dude, I've been listening to my body now. And I would have whooped my own ass when I would have fucked myself up. It's so weird. Not just the knowledge now, because everybody would have that 10, 12 years later. The athlete.
That's why you need a good coach at a young age.
That's why I try to get these guys, man. Yeah. You remember how we were doing it? We were all training partners learning at the same time. There was no old head involved.
No.
We were all like, we don't know.
My weight cuts were basically just starving myself of everything.
Yeah.
Complete starvation.
That's how I cut weight. We were all learning together.
Yeah. I overtrained a lot. Up until a few years ago, I used to think that you should have a hard time.
Me too.
That like after working out, you should have a hard time walking back to your car.
Me too.
I mean, if I had a rep left in me, I got it out. And now it's like, you save that rep for tomorrow. Yeah.
Recover.
For sure.
Feel fresh.
Yeah. Now you also, the tricky part is you don't want to train, you don't want to start training minimally because then there's a detraining effect and you start going backwards.
No.
So it's really hard to find the perfect balance where you're training optimally. You're not overdoing it.
I think it's
getting sore and damaging your body, but you're not underdoing it and regressing. So to me, if I get just like the tiniest little hint of soreness, I'm okay with that because then I know I broke some boundaries, but I didn't really go so far that I can't train hard the next day.
That's what I'm saying. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
You have to be smart enough to
You have to get to know your body.
Right.
Yes. That's why personal training still requires some accountability from the client. It's not your trainer can't just walk you through every single rep. Yeah. I might tell you do 3 sets of 12, but then you have to tell me, you have to listen to your body and say, hey, that 12 was too easy or too hard.
Right.
And one thing that CrossFit, I think, is often guilty of is that they overdo everything. They run people to the ground. Yeah. There's very little programming in CrossFit. It's just like you're in a competition every day who can do the most reps. Right. And very few coaches actually understand programming. Right. They're just putting you through the ringer.
Well, not only that, but we're not even going to get into that. I mean, there's so many rounds that you could go smash that. You could really smash a lot of it. But to train a human on bilateral lifts, when we spend maybe a tenth of our life in a bilateral stance doing anything, right? Everything we do through movement. You got to train unilaterally, right? So any of the king lifts, any of the big Olympic shit that people are doing, any of the double-footed stuff. I mean, what do you do in life that mimics that besides deadlift a car outside in the back parking lot? What would you do? Any other sport, you take a step off with 1 foot, 1 arm, contralateral movement, right? And then you train and then you have these sling systems built into your fascia that move together. So isometric training is out, all right? Unless you're going for looks. I'm just talking about an athlete here.
Isometrics?
Isometrics is out.
What do you mean?
I mean, where you're just targeting, not isometrics, isolation.
Okay.
Where you're isolating a metric, not isometrics, isolation.
Right.
Where you're just trying to recruit a bicep.
Yeah.
If you want to look good.
That's for bodybuilding.
But we work in chains. Yes. So every like all of my strength and conditioning workouts are all unilateral full body workouts because that's exactly what you do throughout the day. You don't lift anything without using the feet to your head. Not one fucking thing.
Yeah. Now isolation work does have a place to play, however, in trying to target weak muscle groups. You find your weaknesses and then you got to train them a little bit harder. So if you realize like, okay, my lower back is a lot stronger or my lower back is a lot weaker than my glutes and hamstrings, then you have a deficit in your posterior chain and you got to build up your lower back. So you need more targeted lower back work to get it to catch up to the rest of the chain. So sometimes you do need to isolate.
But you can't just do lower back. It would have to be the whole chain.
You train, but then you do a little bit more on your weaker links.
Yeah.
You catch them up. And that's how, you train your weaknesses and then they become your strengths, and then you train what used to be your strengths, and then that's how you.
But dude, I found myself.
That's how you build yourself up.
Body weight stuff, you know what I mean?
Well, body weight is great because it's very easy to recover from. Right. It's very easy on the central nervous system.
I use
things like gymnastics. They build a lot of coordination, a lot of strength, and you recover from them very easily. Workouts in a pool. Remember when we used to do that when we were in college? I remember it was on before we had that class.
Yeah.
Well, we had to drive to the other building at night. We'd go do pool workouts, and I'd get those. That
was athletic training class.
Yeah, I'd get those foam dumbbells. Yep. And I would shadow box with them in the water.
Yep. We get tired, bro.
That was fantastic.
And then there's
jumping in the water.
Resistance.
Yep.
Plyos.
Doing high knees, like sprinting in place in the water. Oh.
And I'm short too. I'm about drowning in the 3 foot. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So remember running at your neck.
You remember our teacher for that class? Little chubby lady, curly hair.
She sucked.
She was.
She didn't know shit. Remember she did that tape job and me and you looked at each other like, get the fuck out of here. What are you? I want your paycheck right now. This is some bullshit, dude. Oh my God.
Remember when you made her really shy? You embarrassed the shit out of her.
Did I?
Yeah. So she gets this one guy to go up on like he stood on the table. She was showing his quad. She was like trying to show he was wearing shorts. You know what I'm talking about.
Keep going. I'm gonna laugh at myself.
And she was like, well, this is the VMO and this is the VLO. And look how when he squats, this part flexes. And then she's like, oh, look. See how his VMO just flexed? And you were like, that wasn't his VMO.
You know what I just realized? I'm that little piece of shit in the back of class.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I think that was the football player, wasn't it?
She turned blood red.
That yoked out.
No, not that annoying guy that I got into it with him one time. Remember I got into it with that guy one time?
Yes.
Oh, he just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
About lifting?
God, yeah, he was so annoying.
Is it about lifting?
Yes, and then
what was he saying?
Who knows, dude? And then you told me you're like, just tell him, dude, look at you and look at me. Of course I work out better than you because he was a big fat guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he just probably some power argument then.
He just wouldn't shut up. No,
we were hella into that.
We were having a conversation. Well, I thought I was having a conversation. He just started yelling about wide stance versus close stance squatting.
That's what it was.
Yes.
I do remember that.
Oh my God. He just wouldn't shut up.
I do remember that.
It's like, I sat down. I'm like, you know what, man, finish yelling. And then, we'll move on with the class because there's no point in talking to you.
He was going to eventually try to fight. Right?
That's
all that goes. That puffing up.
He'd have been choked out in 30 seconds.
Hey, I'd have let it happen.
Take the back like that.
I'd have just kept everybody back, make sure nobody jumped in.
But that was hilarious. You turned the teacher blood red, dude, when you said that. She couldn't even look at the guy anymore.
Damn.
Because he's standing up. He's standing up on like a little table. So his dick is at her eye level.
Yep.
She's trying to like point out the muscles of the quad.
100,000
oh my God,
bazillion fucking Google percents the Army's fault. That's the type of shit that you blurt out in the military,
right? Just
not in there, jokes. Man. Yeah.
What'd you say earlier?
That would have made the whole room die.
What'd you say earlier?
Soldiers.
Your boys would dick and dash.
Yes. That's what they were doing in Korea.
Dick and dash.
Shout out to my boys. Yes,
that's hilarious.
Good old dick and dash.
They
would get with the prostitutes and then run out before they paid them. It's like dine and dash. Where you run out of the restaurants after the check comes. See ya. But they can never go back in there again. Hey, them ajimas, I bet you they had a damn picture with an X on there. If they went down there, man, that was it for them fools.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They actually got in trouble for stuff like that. Not them personally, but like it was like a thing to where like they would bring it up in the Army and be like, "Stop doing that shit. At least pay them."
Yeah, it's so funny.
They told me they loved it there, bro.
I feel like the Army is a fraternity, except occasionally you might get shot. That's right? Like, it's just the fraternity.
That 1,000%.
The shit that y'all come up with, like I've heard guys in the Army talk about all the sex positions they come out with.
Oh, I got some of those motherfuckers.
What are some?
Man, I was going to try to keep this podcast sophisticated.
It is.
Okay.
We're spreading knowledge.
What you need to do.
Bro, there's nothing sophisticated about you. You're the most gangster hood white guy I've ever met.
Nope.
You beatbox. You still freestyle? You
no.
still rap?
Nope.
Oh, dude, we got to have a rap challenge right now.
No, we don't. We do not. Dude, you think riff raff is good, bro. Yo. But
what
did you ask me?
What are the Army sex positions that y'all come
okay. So look, we used to be in the field for just months, right? We had this running joke to where we would come up with these little fucking Kama Sutra moves, but they were the most ridiculous ones ever. You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Okay. First, I'm gonna hit you with the breaded shrimp.
Oh, the breaded shrimp.
Okay.
What is that?
Okay. That's when you're banging on a beach, right? You pull out, dip it in the sand, hit it back in, baby. Good old breaded shrimp right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a vacation thing. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you do that?
That's
sandpaper dick.
Did I tell you that any of this made sense? Zero. I can't even tell you anymore. I'll probably have family that will watch this shit and
as long as they subscribe, it's all good.
They'll never call me again.
What else is there? That doesn't sound too bad.
That was just the start.
Yeah, okay.
Man,
I've heard about the rusty trombone.
Yeah, there's the chocolate vanilla swirl.
Oh, no, I don't want to know what that is.
You don't? Okay, we'll skip that one.
What about the one where like you're fucking the girl at the top of the staircase and you kick her down?
That's the avalanche. You hit her with a facial. You hit her with a facial and kick her down the stairs. It's called the avalanche, man. You never did that?
That's so funny.
Right up the front of that split level door.
The avalanche.
I'm sorry, Mom.
No, I live in a 1-story home.
Okay. Yeah. You got to put her on a step
that's
stool.
so fucked up.
That's bad.
The avalanche.
Yeah. There was a couple classic ones.
What
like
else?
that.
You're holding back.
No, I mean, God, I haven't thought about those in so long. I'm trying to think of some of the bangers. We have the Spider-Man.
What's the Spider-Man?
Okay. All right. So the Spider-Man's, right? Where you're getting some head, pull out, bust your load in your hand, hit her right in the face with it.
Oh my God.
That's the U.S. That's your U.S. troops taking care of you right there. Just coming up with that shit out there. That's what we would sit.
Oh my God.
We would sit into a foxhole at the 2 to 4 a.m. guard shift. Flap. You have to say that like the comic book.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm done.
What about girl soldiers? Did they come up with positions?
They're grimier.
They have to, right?
You know, you kind of. It's different now, man.
Do you have a tissue in there somewhere?
Yeah, man.
Jeez, piece of paper.
No, I do.
I'll figure it out.
It's right there in the bathroom, right behind you. But anyway,
I'm listening.
Listen to this.
Okay.
Back when I was in, girls were different. Like the way that they treated them, it was just like one of the dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we deployed the first time, they were in the same tents. They just kind of put up their little blankets to kind of measure it off. You know what I'm saying? Their little cots so they can change and shit. But everybody who had around the same showers, nobody really gave a shit.
Dude, it must
When
be
I was
really,
on my way out, dude, the amount of EO briefings that I had to go get, you had to be you're joking. What is
an EO briefing?
Equal opportunity.
Oh,
okay, equal opportunity. So it was something that, like in the civilian world, it would be something that HR would give.
Doesn't equal mean everybody gets the same sleeping bag in the same tent?
See, something like that. But every EO briefing was about sexual harassment.
Oh,
that's what it was. And yeah, whether it was male, female, male, female, but that because it was huge in the Army.
What was huge? Harassment? Sexual harassment?
Right? So they started
like being a hen amongst a bunch of roosters.
Dude, there's two girls
out. Gangbang like ducks do.
There's two girls.
You ever watch ducks? Didn't I tell you about that earlier?
I have not.
Do you ever seen a duck get fucked? Ducks are vicious, man. Like ducks look all cute and everybody's like, oh, ducks are so cute. They're gangbangers. They beat the shit out of the woman while they're banging her. It's like 8 ducks trying to all get it in on the same female. And they're all just like pecking her in the head, holding her down, beating her up. And it's like they're fighting with each other to try to get in there. Dude, ducks are gang rapers. They're horrible, man. Yeah, they're horrible. They're vicious.
Remember when we went to that one tournament in Albuquerque?
Wait, I was gonna say
go ahead.
It's gotta be tough being a female in the military. Just dude. like we could if a man I feel like it's easier for a man to go a week or 2 without taking a shower.
No, they're also
than a female, especially if she's on her period.
They're allowed to go back now. So if you're in the field, okay, females get to go back weekly to take showers.
Oh, God. Can you imagine like not changing your tampon?
But I have been there though with females that didn't. That they preceded that. That was before them.
Oh my goodness!
Straight up.
That had to be tough.
Straight up.
Yeah, that had to be tough, man.
So, they was just like, doing their best they can.
Right.
Little bird baths with water bottles and whatever the fuck. Baby wipes was the biggest key and shit. And you hit the naughty bits and that was it. And they went out there like that, just gangsters for weeks. But then even when I was in, it progressed to, all right, now they get to go back weekly, which made sense. And then when you go deploy now, like you're on a base. And even if you're on a little fob or something like that, they still have some type of little outhouse shower set up now to where you can go. I remember we built ours the first time because we were there when the invasion happened. We just slapped some plywood up and hung one of them little fucking things that you do plants with. That's it. You just did that, dude. It was raw, bro. It was raw. It was cool though.
So what about Albuquerque? We drove to a lot of tournaments, me and you. Albuquerque and Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
We drove to a lot of tournaments.
Well, we just like to compete, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to stay active.
We were doing a JITS tournament out of town like every 6 weeks.
Easy. And then everything in-house too.
The one in Arizona was
plus the MMA
shitty.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was small, but
the one in Arizona was shitty. Well, just Mesa, Arizona. Like,
have you been following Courtney and stuff? Have you seen her on the UFC?
I've seen her in the UFC. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I saw her last fight.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
She's tough.
She is.
She has like the most split decisions.
Courtney,
ever.
What's her last
Casey.
name? Courtney Casey in the UFC, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, she's got a lot of yeah.
I remember she grappled Cass in a Hayashi's tournament back when Cass knew nothing. Yeah. She armbarred her, but it was crazy to see her like later on.
But what were you going to say about the Albuquerque tournament?
Oh, that's what I was going to say when you were talking about the Ducks. I said all we did was sit there and watch damn Duck Dynasty reruns. Walk around in our own. Yeah. Dude, I still have that picture on my Facebook. We're both in Duck Dynasty shirts.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we went a little hard.
Yeah, what were we doing wearing Duck Dynasty shirts at a grappling tournament?
They knew what was up.
That didn't make any sense.
I think we both did well.
Yeah. That show was hilarious, man. The first 3 seasons, it got ridiculous after that, but the first 3 seasons were great. And then the guy, what's his name, Phil, got in trouble because he said something. Yep. But it's if I remember, it's cancel culture because I'm pretty sure I remember the story correctly. He came out and said that according to the Bible, this is how we view homosexuality. He didn't say anything bad about. He didn't like condemn homosexual. It was like, this is what the Bible says. This is what we believe. And that's like, if that's your faith, that's your faith. I mean, it's the same thing with Jews. Like Ben Shapiro talks about it all the time. He's like, I don't think the government should be involved in whether gay people get married or not. That's not the government's business. But as a Jew, I think that's wrong.
Right.
And so like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. This is a faith that requires, these are the sets of beliefs that it has. And you don't have to be Jewish and you don't have to be Christian. But if you want to be Jewish or Christian, this is what you got to follow.
Yes.
But the government should not fuck with that. And he came out and said something about, what the Bible says about homosexuality. And then people went fucking crazy.
I know.
And wanted to cancel the show and all. But they still did, I think, 11 seasons.
Why wouldn't you just not watch? I don't understand.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Like, you think I give a fuck?
Right, who cares?
What Queer Eye for the Straight guy does? They could... But cool, have the show great. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
You're straight, you're gay, you're gay. Who gives a shit? You don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Exactly. Right. That's what people tell. Oh, sometimes you say things on the podcast that might offend somebody. Well, then they can just turn it off.
Touche.
Yeah, they can just turn it off. I'm not forcing anybody to watch.
See, that's the cool thing about the internet and Netflix. When you don't like something you hear now, and you know what I'm saying, a little baby boohoo, turn the shit off.
Yeah. Simple.
That's what's dope.
You know what I think, man? I think like the whole, there's a lot of talk about social media and depression, especially with teenagers. And I feel like that's kind of a bullshit thing that we're nursing too much. Because it's not like having abusive parents where like you have no choice but to go home to those abusive parents. You have the abuse of the internet, but you can just not log on to Facebook.
Yeah. Like what are you talking about? People that get bullied?
Yeah. Like bullying, like internet bullying, social media pressure, all depression, teenagers committing suicide, that kind of shit. It's like you can just not get on social media. You could just like if I was getting negative feelings and emotions and it was affecting my life, I just would close my Instagram.
My friend.
I mean, but
you're using common sense. That's the problem.
Well,
here's what I think happens and you're right. I fully agree with you, but
I don't have much left because I've almost used all of my common sense.
No shit.
Most people have stores of it because they never use it.
Listen to this though. I bet you it's even if they shut that internet shit off, they'll go to school and everybody will be like, did you see that picture so-and-so posted of your dumbass? Because now they're on Photoshop and shit. Ridiculing them. You know what solves all that? A fucking fist fight.
That's it.
A fist fight.
Martial arts.
Punch him in the fucking face. You may not win. You may get railed, but I promise you,
it's over the next day.
There will be no Photoshop of your ass the next day. If you punch him in the nose every single day, you may take an ass whooping for a week and a half. But that is what's missing, the emasculation of little boys now. And I think here's what happens. They ridiculed fighting so much in schools and as young boys that every other single male animal in the entire species that's ever existed on Earth are pumped with testosterone, fight from little kids up. You know what I mean? When they took that away from us and little boys and started penalizing fighting so much, then that builds up for 2 years. Now you have shooters.
Right.
You little boys.
They could have worked it out on the playground. They
have to fight. There has to be a bully. There has to be a loser. There has to be an ass whipping. There has to be a change of the guard. There has to be a comeback story. There has to be all that shit, but there has to be a fucking fist fight. Do you know, dude, fighting is the dopest thing on earth, right? Because if you took, I think I heard this somewhere, but if you had the World Series, you had the World Cup, you had the hockey championships, whatever the fuck that's called, you had the Super Bowl going on, and all of the championships and all of these stadiums that surrounded each other with a parking lot in the middle, and like the best games ever of every single sport was going on at the same time. If there was a fucking bum drunk fight in the parking lot, every single person in the stadium on every stadium would turn around and watch that fight. That's how exciting fighting is.
Right.
No one's watching the football game anymore. They'll all turn and look at the fucking drunk dudes in the stands.
Sure.
That's how crazy dope fighting is. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
So exciting every time. People are like, don't you get bored? Like, I'll go home from this and watch more fighting. It's always different. I love it.
Yeah, man. It sucks that at some point though you got to have the realization of like, I need to stop sparring.
Oh, I did.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
I mean, me too. Like to this day, I get the itch to do it every week.
Oh, I love it.
And I see people sparring and I'm like, God, I want to get in there and throw some punches and kicks. But if I'm not going to go, if I'm not doing it to get to the UFC,
right,
then all I'm doing is breaking myself down,
right,
mentally and physically. You're taking kicks to the ribs. You're taking, you're busting your feet.
Any headshot.
Yeah, headshot. You're getting kicked in the nose to where you have to have nose surgery to correct it, and all that stuff. Yeah, so there's really no point in it, other than that it's fun. Yep. But the price is too steep.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing it years ago.
Yeah,
I still like to do touch sparring where you're not wearing gloves and you just move around. You're still working your reflexes.
See, I like to do that.
You're keeping you're reacting.
I like to do that with people that I know with gloves that I know I can do that with,
yes,
that don't get carried the fuck away. If I can trust my partner,
right?
Then
if they're going to keep it 10%,
you can spar for the rest of your life, but that never fucking happens. Well, there's got to be two of those people that can keep a pace like that in the gym.
Right.
The rest, you're going absolute ham.
Yeah.
You touch them one time, or it just naturally picks up. Or something like that. Next thing you know, you're slanging.
Well, and I'm pretty good at telling people to bring it back down, but then I get annoyed having to tell them after the fourth and fifth time, and I just go fuck them.
See,
you know what I mean?
But then you get pulled into the fight.
Well, if they keep doing it, but for that reason, I just don't get involved at all.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, either I'm going to find somebody who can keep it together and keep it under control for 4 or 5 rounds, for a training session, and we're just going to do that. We know that we're working on movement, footwork, reflexes, keeping your eyes open, dodging shit, slipping punches.
Yep.
And we're not going to hit each other. And you could go like 50% to the body. You can put some weight on the leg kicks. That's fine. Yeah, put some weight on the leg kicks. That's cool.
The dome.
Just don't. I don't want a black eye. Yep. I don't want to be bleeding from my nose or bust my lip.
I used to love just slanging like that.
Oh, dude, it's so fun.
I know.
It's so fun.
I still watch the guys do it.
Yes.
Now, and I'm just like, damn, I really want to do it. And then
kicking people in the ribs is so fun.
The satisfaction of that. The satisfaction of socking, dude.
It's great.
Dude,
it's so when you slip and just drop a punch down the middle and you watch their head do this.
No,
it's the best.
We were in Bushido, like, dude, this had to be 2004, maybe something like that. Early 5. Audie was training with us, and he was like 15 or something like that. There was this dude named Michael Hollow in the sparring session. He used to be this fighter dude.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. You'll hear a bunch of mixed stories about that guy.
I
don't know him personally, but just on the fight scene and shit, I know.
Yeah.
But hey, so we was in the gym.
Yeah.
Audie overhand righted him, slept him, right? We had to wake him up with the bath salt.
Oh, shit.
The smelling salt.
Yeah.
Not bath salt.
Yeah.
The smelling salt,
yeah.
right? And the satisfaction on Audie's face, I think I still see it when he talks about it. You know what I mean? It was like having your first child, your first KO.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? That satisfaction of someone going to bed when it just feels like butter.
Especially when you're 15.
Right.
Yeah. What does that do to a man's confidence?
Ooh.
It's amazing.
Now he's a little shit, so
Well,
obviously it's ruined him.
Touche. Nah, he's cool.
I'll choke him out any moment of his life.
He comes by the gym every now and then. We roll. He's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know him that well.
I know him really well, and I still choke the shit out of him.
I wasn't around at Bushido, but I've heard stories of some weird characters coming through, like some guy that came in to challenge you guys. He told you he's a samurai or something, right? Like some guy came in thinking he's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
You guys have told me the story.
Old sparring session, man, where he was against my boy at Bushido named Albert back in the day. Okay. Cash was around at this time. So it was, I remember this. And we were sparring, and Albert, he's kind of doesn't know how to approach him. He has that karate stance, and he had them really big flared out kung fu pants in the MMA gym, right? Essentially, there wasn't too many of us. So we have MMA gloves on, and we're just touching, we're just kind of touch sparring.
Right.
And of course they're brand new. So Albert's kind of touching him a little bit. And then this guy jumps up in the air, does a full hand karate chop to Albert's side of Albert's neck. Bah! He said, "Hey!" And he yelled at that kite shit, right? And he was like, "Hey!" Albert just looked at him like, what the fuck just happened to me? Dude, I'm on the ground, legit dying. Because, bro, you got 3 minutes left in this fucking fight. And then he's right back at it.
Oh, my God.
Full axe throwing, axe kicks, fucking eye pokes and shit. Like, I don't know where he came out of, dog. It was crazy. It was just this wild.
Was he the one
I don't think he was all there.
Did you tell me the story or one of the other guys about like a guy who came in and said, like, I've been in 300 death matches, and as you can see, I'm still here. Was it that guy? Is that the same guy?
No.
Okay, tell me about all of them.
I can't even remember all those. Those guys used to come in, and everybody used to come in with an ego back in the day, and they just used to get the shit beat out of them. That crew back in the day was around. I'm telling you right now, if you came in and you had an ego.
Oh, you got fucked.
I came in and I didn't have an ego, and that would get the shit beat out of me. That was some real ass fucking fighting shit right
You were also a bantamweight training with light heavyweights.
Buck 27.
Yeah, that sucks.
But
how are you a grown man, 127 pounds?
Oh my fucking God, dude! I'm just packed into a little package stuff. I get you on the ground, bro. I'm telling you, I'll feel 350.
Okay, sure.
Okay, motherfucker. He was going easy.
So he karate chops him, and then
okay, that was just one guy.
But then what happened?
There's been multiple guys.
What did Albert do?
Finished the round very awkwardly, just trying to get out of the way and shit.
He didn't take him down and slap him.
No, it was. I think we were just doing stand up, and it was really. Oh no, I know why. He was throwing that death front teep kick. You know, that little snapping one that's in every fucking movie. So he didn't want to shoot into that and get poked in the eye. The guy's fucking toenails were this long, and
well, so the guy had some moves then.
He was just a mess.
If
if
the guy didn't want to shoot on him,
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just at that point it was fucking laughable because he got chopped in the neck. Okay, no one does that shit, right? But you're right. It landed right in the neck, and he was so surprised. He probably could have knocked him out right after that if he wanted to.
I've always talked about that.
Maybe that funny shit will work.
No, it doesn't. Against a wrestler or a Thai boxer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because
a Thai boxer.
That was funny,
like, oh
man.
my God. Can you imagine? Albert, bro. Can you imagine one of those guys that stands like a flamingo before a fight against a Thai boxer? And they're standing on one leg.
No, you're going to get Chris Weidman.
And, oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. It would be so horrible.
They're taking that leg all the way
out. A Thai kick to the leg, and you're standing on one leg?
Yeah. We got some Thai fights coming up next weekend, by the way. I got a guy fighting in modified Thai. It's everything but elbows, but knees.
Really?
Teeps, trips, dumps, all of it.
Why is it modified like that?
Just because it's his first one. I didn't want him to get cut open. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that he got in there. Because those are the dangerous ones. Let's be real. The elbows.
Elbows are nasty.
Because I mean,
those Thai clinch.
Yes. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure we got one under. So I was just like, hey, let's go modified Thai. Plus we went up a weight. So I could have almost demanded anything I wanted to. We bent over backwards for them and took it on a week's notice and went up and shit like that. So I said, look, for this first one, because I was only looking for K1, just regular kickboxing. Okay. But this one, you can clinch, you can knee, you can catch and dump. So that's where I'll be at next weekend.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. I don't know how it is now, but remember my era when I was in El Paso with you, if MMA came around, whether it was anywhere drivable, it was all MMA, amateur, pro.
Right.
Came here, every event is half kickboxing, half MMA.
Oh.
And everyone gets a shot. You got like legit Muay Thai fighters who will come in and they mix it in between, and it's exciting as shit. And then you have MMA guys here. So now you'll have kickboxing schools here dedicated to pure kickboxing, right? Which is just not something that we seen back there. I was telling everybody there when I got here, everyone, okay, so I have Mondays as my sparring days, right? Well, I'll be 40 deep. It will be no gi. There'll be 8 guys in there. And I said, dude, in Texas, everyone's a grappler. Like there'd be 300 dudes in a room if they could, you know what I'm saying? At open mats and shit. And I said, there'll be 4 MMA guys in the back, you know what I'm saying? Punching the bag and stuff like that. And no one wanted to go with them because they knew it was going to be a crazy spaz round.
Right.
You remember when we used to be in the back of open mats and they're like, fuck going with you no-gi guys and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here, everyone's just a striker, just a big kick. They have full Muay Thai events. I mean, now I had to dedicate days to actual kickboxing, and those are the fullest classes. People love it here. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like the striking scene is far bigger than the grappling scene.
It's the rain. It builds up aggression.
Something.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man.
200 days of rain a year. I couldn't tolerate it.
I'll have an open mat. There'll be 3 dudes grappling, 64 people fucking sparring.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Just getting rounds with each other, slanging.
Well, it's so fun, man. It is
really,
so fun.
Truly is.
And when you're indoors because it's raining 200 days a year, I imagine you want to punch and kick some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I came out here on purpose this time of year. And even then I kind of rolled the dice. It's still rain season.
You got lucky.
I got lucky this weekend. Yeah.
Yes. Dude, when I went to Jersey to go see Tom the Blast, right? I took a little crew from here in Cass and stuff. We went and rolled with them and hung out in Jersey and stuff like that. It was November in Jersey, 75 degrees on the beach. It was crazy. Like, dude, I don't know what it was, but you never see this.
Really?
Beautiful. I was walking on the same boardwalk as Jersey Shore. I was fucking Jersey turnpiking and fist pumping, just like Schnooky. Call me Chucky. Literally, my boy, Aiden, this crazy dude's walking around with this bucket of jungle juice on the beach, doing the same stupid walk. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Why am I even thinking about these people in my head? Like there's some, you know what I'm saying, rocket scientist or whatever.
And why is it so hot in here?
Because of these windows.
Jesus Christ.
You want me to turn the fan on?
Yeah. Do you not have air conditioning?
No.
You don't?
No. Okay, so let me tell you something.
No, don't turn the fan on because
it's loud.
Yeah, I don't know.
No houses in Washington come with air conditioning.
What?
0.
You don't have air conditioning at your house right now?
Nope. I have mobile units that I move from room to room, the big nice ones. But that's not standard. I literally came here, right? When I moved from Texas, moved into that rental house that my mom had set up for us and stuff like that, right? We got all our shit in and was looking for the thermostat, dude. No thermostat. I called, I said, Mom, where's the thermostat at for the damn AC, right? Because that's like standard. And even if you have a swamp cooler,
right?
You have some.
Oh, which are the worst.
They suck, right?
Oh,
but
they're terrible. Yeah.
It's still standard though.
Right.
Otherwise somebody would die in there.
Yeah.
I said, where is it? She was like, dude, that don't come on the house. I said, you have got to be shitting me. They don't come on the house here. And then when I bought this one, everybody else's is on the side of their house bought extra. They don't, that's not something people, that's like if you can't handle the couple months of summer, then you can go ahead and buy one is almost their attitude about it here, I guess. Because they don't use it long enough throughout the year, I guess, that they can just kind of stick it out till August.
Yeah, I guess there's probably no market for that whatsoever in Minnesota.
0.
Nobody's selling air conditioners up there.
0.
No, hell no. I couldn't live somewhere that cold.
Nah,
miserable, dude.
Yep.
I mean, I know people from up there, and they tell me that in the winter, like if they go to the store, they leave the car running because if they turn it off, by the time they get the groceries, go back outside, the battery's already frozen.
Yep. Gone.
It's so crazy.
Yep.
That to me, that's a signal that we're not supposed to be, like, humans should not be there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing because you're sweating.
It's hot in here. Leave that for, well, dude, it's all the pizza I ate before the podcast. My metabolism is up right now.
Oh shit!
Burning all that pizza.
Hell yeah!
That was some good pizza.
It was great, mod pizza.
I feel like that's a place that's made for polar bears and wolves and that kind of thing.
I hate the feeling of being cold.
Yeah.
I would rather be hot all day long.
For
when
sure.
I'm cold,
it's easier.
It gets through your clothes. That one where you can't even
get
warm.
That dry desert cold. That dry desert cold air that just cuts through you.
Oh, dude.
You can't block it out no matter how many sweaters you wear.
In the morning. Oh, terrible.
There's some nasty cold in El Paso. People don't realize it.
I know.
They don't
were you there? Of course you were there. You were there for how long were you there?
The last 15 years.
Okay, so you were there when it hit 0, remember?
Yeah.
And the whole thing froze over. Everybody's pipes were busting and stuff like that. I've never even been here.
Well, that just happened recently.
I've never even been here when it hit 0.
Yeah.
Never. It's never hit 0 here. You know what here, though? It's very temperate because we're right next to the ocean. Never really freezes over. We may get a little bit of snow throughout the year, some rain and some gloomy days. But honestly, it's like 40 degrees through our, crappy season and stuff, maybe a little bit lower than that. And then it'll go to 50s and 60s, 70s. So it's never bad though, dude.
I would love to live up here from June to September every year.
Yeah.
And then go somewhere else.
Honestly, it's still not bad, even when it's raining, because it's not freezing.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, but there's the highest suicide rate in the country.
See, I don't know if that still stands.
Up here, because...
That's more meth than it is rain. Straight up, dog.
But why are people doing meth?
When you go to Seattle tomorrow... Because
I might go tonight.
When you go tonight, make sure you grab yourself a little stabber in case you got to poke you a little meth head.
Is it a little rough out there?
No, there's just some places that honestly, man, it's not rough. It's just people don't give a fuck anymore, man. They'll walk right up to the nice places now, camp the fuck out.
Oh, is that going on here?
Yes, dude. Seattle is getting ran. Oh, wait.
That's how Austin was. I went to Austin last week.
For the
first time.
And to be. That's where I would have taken you today instead. I used to be almost like proud to go show that city. Like, damn, I'm about to take everybody who visits me down here. We'll do the pier walk. We'll get on the damn Ferris wheel. We'll eat all the seafood. We'll go to all the dope shops.
I might get on the Ferris wheel.
Me neither. I was just fucking saying that. I've actually got off that bitch in mid Ferris.
Oh no!
I hit the stop button, scared the shit. No, I swear to fuck.
No, you didn't.
I swear to you.
Oh, what a bitch!
2 things I'm scared of, dog, like spiders and fucking heights.
Oh, you pussy!
What the fuck you mean?
I've been on one in Dubai.
I'm alive to tell you about it.
Yeah,
who knew? Who fucking knew? I already know what you're gonna say. Dog, I'm telling you, I would have been fine. But they stuck me at the top.
One in Dubai.
You know how they stopped to let people on? Some old lady was getting on.
You hit the panic button. I can't believe you hit the panic button.
That bitch went right back down. Dude, let me tell you, when that fucking door opened up, because they're semi-private, they're all closed off.
How old were you?
It was last year. Straight up. I was 30.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was like 35.
Were your kids with you?
No, my boy flew in from Pittsburgh, an old Army buddy, and him and his wife, we were all on, and me and Cass. And we got on, it went up. I was fine. It's over the water. That's what the fuck. I felt like
beautiful.
I was. Right. But fuck that. So, and then it went up a little more. I was cool. And then it went up to the top and it started swinging. And then this old lady was trying to get on, and it took her about 15 minutes to get into that bitch because it kept moving and she was walking.
There the whole time.
And I was just sitting up there and I said, me or you? Guess what? It's me today. So the thing shut on her and brought me down. And I said, let me off. And Cass waited with me at that was probably the lowest point of my masculinity ever. That feeling it gave me. I don't like heights, dude, because I'm not in control. That's why I don't like flying. It's not because I'm flying. It's because I'm not fucking driving.
So if you were a pilot, you'd be okay?
Maybe a little bit. I'm just like, man, I hope them 2 dudes studied, or were they like Jimmy in college and shit? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is he just fucking up there getting a paycheck?
Is the pilot on the left copying off the pilot on the right? Yeah.
Oh my, what page is that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Hell no. No, I still am scared of planes. I hate flying. Do you?
Psychologists link fear of flying to deep control issues.
Oh, that probably makes. See, I just told you I'm not in control.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. Science proven.
Yeah.
That wasn't even set up. Seriously, that's why. It's because I am not in control, and that you're up there, and that shit already doesn't make sense in my head. That big flying piece of fucking metal in the air floating.
It's crazy.
My brain is too lit. You know what I'm really interested in? You know who I fucking love? Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
who doesn't?
He's great.
When you start getting into his shit, right, when he dumbs it down for the layperson, it's lovely. But then you really want to get into astrophysics, because I'm super into space, but I'm too dumb for it. You don't.
Makes it more exciting.
You can't know even the level of physics that they know and talk about, and that they don't know shit. He says, I don't even know. I'm like, dude,
Right.
when they start talking about these theories and these problems are 10 pages long, and I'm just like, damn.
Imagine.
I'll probably only really ever get to know, because of my education level of math, that there's fucking 8 planets, what stars are.
Because you can only count the
That's
8.
it. I'm this big in the universe is my little, you know what I'm saying? But I love that shit.
Yeah, he blows my mind, man. The way, even when he dumbs it down, he does it in such a cool way that you can actually understand it, but there's also a part of you that's blown away by it.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, I love the space stuff.
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's just like
those guys who go out to
the questions that can't be answered blow me away.
Those guys who go out to space and get out of the spaceship, those guys are fucking crazy. Astronauts do it all the time.
Yeah,
they go outside the space. They're clipped to it.
I know.
And they just like walk around it or something.
Okay, let me tell you, man, one of the dopest.
Can you imagine being on top of a spaceship, like looking out at the sun and the earth?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Have you watched Gravity?
No.
You haven't watched the movie Gravity?
No.
Okay, so I watched that shit when it was in 3D, right? When it first came out. Because I love this spaceship. Got Sandra Bullock and fucking
I'm in.
George Clooney.
Just kidding. She's not that hot.
Yeah, great actress.
I'm all Jennifer Aniston.
Should have been her. Would have been dope. It would have been way better because it's George Clooney and her.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Should have been me and her.
You're in their helmet, right? You're in the 3D thing. And it's, it looks legit, okay, in the movie theater.
Helmet?
Yes. The visual was starting inside of George Clooney's helmet as if you were him floating. He's hooking up. He looks at the sun, looks back at the earth. Jimmy, I was coming out the fucking chair. Me and Miguel were like this the whole time. It flips you back up and around. People are looking at the fucking ceiling. He's over you. Sandra Bullock comes from behind you. You're smacking hands and shit. It's fucking the dopest movie you ever would have to see.
Can you spank her with the goggles on?
Yeah, you wish. But it goes through the whole movie in 3D as if you were in space with them.
That's cool.
You'll never get there.
Well,
not in our lifetime.
Well, VR.
That's the best thing.
VR is going to get us pretty close. You know Paul Chappelle, our buddy Paul Chappelle?
Mm-hmm.
He's obsessed with VR. You ever talk to him about that? Dude,
that's creepy, bro. I don't like that shit. Do you have Alexa?
He's deep. No, dude. I've dated.
He doesn't live in the real life, or what the fuck's up with Paul?
No, he doesn't live in the same world that me and you live in. Dude, Paul is a very unique person.
He's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
But why would you want to get into that fake shit?
Oh, have you ever put on VR goggles? Have you ever tried it?
Right.
It's amazing.
I think I have for a boxing game or something.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but
you can go deep into that.
You're sucked in now.
VR now, the way he describes it, is like where the Atari was back then. So imagine when VR is at like
there'll be no human relationship.
When it goes from the Atari to the PS4 or the Xbox One, like, oh my God.
Let me tell you when civilization goes. The second you can walk around and get all the sensations and be someone who you're not, fucking see ya. Ugly fat dudes who are now dope as hell as soon as they put the VR on and they're walking around getting every chick. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, when that becomes where you can get out of your own body and become the person you want to be, no one will ever be in real life again.
Right.
That's the problem with it. That's where it's going to go.
Be bots.
That's all it's going to be. Most of the normal people will still probably have some connection, but you'll lose all the ones who get kind of ousted out in life. I guarantee you. That's the big thing. Everybody wants to be someone who they're not, right?
Yeah.
Wait till they can.
Not me. I just want to be a much richer me.
Well, fuck. Throw on some VR goggles and you'll see what the fuck it. See?
Make up my own bank account.
That's what I'm saying. You could be a little German lady that fucking makes sausages all fucking day just for Tuesday if you wanted to be. Like, that's what I'm saying. Right. Like, you could be somebody different every day. You'd never be you. Shit's boring as fuck.
You got to just call up Paul one of these days, just catch up with him and have him.
I would love. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Yeah. I was one of the things I'm bummed out about is moving out of El Paso. Is it's going to make it harder to get him on the podcast. I was waiting for him to come visit because, man, I'll call him up and we go deep into the VR. Dude, he blows my mind every time. He starts telling me things that I didn't know were even real. He told me, he's like, check out this girl on Instagram. I pull her up. She's got like 3 million followers. She's pretty hot. I go, she looks a little bit weird. He goes, yeah, that's not a real person. That's a bot.
See,
she's got like 3 million followers, dude. She's like some, made up.
I know every one of them.
She's like some made up 18-year-old girl.
See, I know every one of them fucking people. Though
the thing is, like, I was looking at her, and you know how people's faces are not perfectly symmetrical, and when they make those spots, they make them perfectly symmetrical, so you can tell something's a little bit off.
Too pretty.
Yeah, like
Too perfect.
Yeah. Like the right, like there's a little bit of asymmetry in people, and I was looking at her, and I was like, God, her face is a little bit weird. Like, what's going on? And I'm on the phone with him.
But it was enough to make you look twice?
Yes.
That's fucking scary.
I pulled it up. I was like, well, this girl was cute. I was like, damn, she has like 3 million followers or something. I was like, her face looks a little bit weird, Paul. What's that about? He goes, oh, that's not a real person. That's a robot. Like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's crazy, bro. See, that's where it gets crazy. That's where it gets scary. That's it. And he said that's the Atari version.
He said, yeah, VR now. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Give that 5 years,
dude.
Bro.
I can't wait.
Not one teenager will come out of their room.
Yeah, but I can't wait to play some shooting games. Like, remember Counter-Strike? You ever play Counter-Strike back in the day? Counter-Strike was the bomb. And I mean, that was nothing. That was just like,
I fucking hate video games.
Oh, I love video games.
I would go. I did it. I used to fight my brother because he wouldn't wrestle with me or go play baseball, and he wanted to just play. I'd fucking slap him in the back of the head, yank him, kick his controller,
what a dick.
Press restart and shit. I couldn't get this motherfucker off the thing, right? Because he was into his shit, and I just wanted to get the fuck out, dude. I would go to my boys' birthday parties where we would spend the night over. We would do some shit during the day, and we would all have like a hangout and shit overnight. They'd bust the shit out and like this, and I'd call my dad to come pick me up. I can't stand them. My boys just got a Nintendo Switch, but they haven't had one. My oldest is 14. They've never owned any system. Ever. That's
probably good. That's really probably how I would raise.
And they barely use that bitch. And that's just because I wanted to play Mario Kart.
Well, look, man, I'd rather be out on the lake than playing video games.
That's what they do now.
But if I'm living somewhere where, like if I was living in El Paso and I'm 13 years old, the fuck I'm gonna go, kick sand?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play VR than be outside.
Go jujitsu.
It's like 100 degrees. What are you gonna do outside? It's just dirt. The hell are you gonna do? You can go paintball, I guess. But it's not, dude. It's trippy. It's trippy. I put on VR goggles one time. My cousins got it. They're like, I don't know, 16 and 13 or something. And I put it on. There's this game where you had to like boxes would come at you and you had to slice them. You had to like knock them out of the way. You had like a light sword in each hand, and you had to duck and move out of the way and all that. Dude, it's cool.
It
is really cool.
It's trippy, man.
Wait until they have VR shooting games, but instead of those little controllers, you got a legit AR-15. Like the controller,
so it feels like it.
The controller is a legit AR with recoil. And oh my God, like all the sensations.
The military has that. We've had that for a long time.
That's how they train, right?
Yeah. Well, there's simulators that we used to go shoot in on when the range days were rainy, or the range wouldn't work, like the electronics wouldn't bring the targets up, or there wasn't someone to run the range. You would go in and you would do your simulated shot, and it was actual M4s, and it was just a big ass screen, and you had to fucking lay down, and it was so accurate that they actually qualified you off of it.
Damn.
So, I mean, it wasn't even like you had to shoot one bullet. It had the recoil, bolt action. I mean, you felt everything. You know what I'm saying? Just air pistoned out. And if you fucking failed the range, you failed the range. And if you qualified, you stayed qualified, which means it was accepted by the military, which means it had to be dead fucking accurate. If it was like an iffy thing, they would wait for everyone to go really shoot. They can't play with that. That means they had so much confidence in that fucking simulator. And that was when I was in like 2002 to 2000 and fucking.
Why did you get out? Why didn't you do your 20 years? You were halfway through.
Dude, I already did that IED. That was it. That last IED. I had 3 kids already. Yeah. I mean, 2 kids. I was like, fuck that. I'm done.
Right.
I was like, I was in country for a month when that happened. I was like, oh, I'm about to get 9 more of those. You know what I'm saying? So when I got back, I was up to either re-up and get back and stay in or get out because I was done.
Right.
And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to college now. I want to do the MMA thing. I was constantly gone. I was watching all of you guys train and get fights and everybody was coming up and then I'd be gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, so MMA meant way more to me at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because every single time I had a big fight, I'd have to go to the field, cancel, push that shit back. Then that pisses promoters off. You know what I mean? Then you sit dormant for a year, then you get ring rust. Nobody remembers your shit. You're nervous about it again. There was no consistency, right? So I just got out. I said, fuck it. But that ID was that last straw, bro. Because I would have went back 3 more times by now. My unit I was in an infantry unit, so it was just constantly deploying.
Right.
Fuck that. I'm good, bro.
Yeah, that's difficult, dude. That's so difficult, especially when you have a family. My God, I can only imagine. You're away from your wife for 9 months at a time. You're away from your kids. I mean, geez, man, you go to a deployment, you come back, your 2-year-old is now 3, and it's just a different person. Like, whoa.
Yep. That's
it's a tough life.
I did it when I was single.
I think it's it's better for single people.
Oh, it is, because you can, you're there. It's just you. You miss home. When you
get off base, you can go party.
That's what it is.
Go find a girlfriend.
That's what it is. You spend all your fucking deployment money on a truck or a brand new car,
and you have less to worry about. You have less to worry about, like, oh shit, if I get killed right now, what's going to happen to my kids?
Right.
Yeah, that's a factor.
That worry. Now you're dealing, and man, let me tell you the fucking problems out there, bro. My roommate used to, they'd be face-to-face chatting on like Yahoo Messenger, fucking screaming at each other. I'd be on my bed in the back dying.
What are you talking about? Screaming at who?
His wife.
Oh.
Him and his wife just arguing about stupid shit.
Oh.
It was, he was like, one time he was like, bitch, if you go out in my car one more time, I'm going to send you a letter filled with anthrax. I fell off the bed. I fell off the fucking bed. She can't see me. He's on his bed. It was a little desk in between and two little twin beds.
Were they sex chatting? Or
no,
what was it called? Was she like stripping on FaceTime?
She was fucking arguing, and she took his car out, wrecked his Beamer twice, would party. They were 19.
Oh no.
Young couple, just married, something like that.
Why do so many guys get married right before they deploy?
Let me tell you. It's not just about money.
You get paid more, honest, but you're gonna lose it all when you come back and get divorced.
You're right. It's not that. Let me tell you. To be completely honest with you, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of people who say it was strictly for the dough, because then they have to go through an annulment and all that other bullshit. Most of them, you kind of have a nice, steady girl or something like that. Maybe a girlfriend from high school, because a lot of these cats are young and shit like that you've been rocking with for a little bit, and you're about to fucking go to war. And you have like this vulnerable feeling to where you're just like, this fucking could be it. I just want somebody to hold me down here, make sure it's guaranteed, and they fall into that shit. And then as soon as they leave, they get that pay. The fucking dude, let me tell you about this one motherfucking story. This was the worst military wife story I've ever seen. No bullshit. This was on my first deployment. I was single. What time is it?
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
It's 5.
Okay. Right after this. Check this. We come back from my first deployment from Jordan, right?
Okay.
We go to the class 6. Okay. I'm with my married boy. He has 5 kids and his wife, right? He has a house on base that they have to sign for. Okay. Wife wasn't answering the phone for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, oh shit. I'm single. I mean, I don't have nothing to worry about. We hit the class 6. I bought 3 bottles of liquor. He puts his in to get his liquor, right? Card declines.
Oh.
So he's thinking, it's been inactive. There's sand all over it. Fuck it, right? So he swipes it. Boom. Nothing. I get it. We go back to his house. Okay, this is where the story starts. We drive into this little covered patio that they have on all these old school base housing thingies. We pull in, and his whole little garage is just full of water. Just the concrete area.
Shit.
He opens the door. Dog, fucking tsunami came out. A tsunami came out of his fucking side door like this. She stopped up every sink, bathtub, and turned all of the water on. Jesus. And took the kids and dipped to Ohio with homeboy's brother. All 5 of his kids with his brother. Left him a Dear John letter. He takes it off the fridge, reads it in front of me. Dude fell into the water, bro. We got smacked that night. He cried probably, fucking 6 days and straight. But dog,
I don't know if I'd be sad. I'd probably be furious.
Yeah, you would. It was after.
I don't think I would.
But
cry.
It was more of his kids. He was expecting to come home to his kids.
Holy shit! Yeah,
So check this out, right? So you have to call someone, right? Because the house is fucked up. It was like that for 2 weeks.
What kind of brother does he have?
Oh shit!
What a disgusting brother.
Who the fuck knows?
Jesus.
Check this out.
You're gonna bang your brother's wife?
They hit that dude with no pay dues, which is what the military charged him for the damage of the house on his paycheck. Took it right out, never even seen it.
Jesus.
On top of that. Bam, man, fuck that.
Whoa.
Craziness.
Stay single, soldiers.
Hey, on that note.
Yeah. I guess we can end on that.
Let's do it.
Oh, shit. Well, cool, man. I'm very much looking forward to going to Mount Rainier on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man.
I'm going to talk to Cass tomorrow because my my niece bailed.
Okay.
She had to work. She said,
Good.
That's what I was answering on the when I was texting on the board.
Uh-huh.
When I was floating away from your ass the first time, I was there hella long. She got called into work. So
Dude,
I was
all I want to do is
I
paddleboard now.
said,
it's
dude,
amazing.
It's my favorite.
I want to go back out there right now.
It's my favorite pastime now.
It's amazing.
I promise you.
Yeah.
So I don't care what type of day you're having.
It's the best.
Right.
You'll
do that
forget
before
about
or after.
anything.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yep. For
Cool,
sure.
man. All right. Hanging up later, everybody.
Oh, yes.